I'll be honest with you, Meat. This is probably the fight on this card that I'm looking forward to the most. It's Adrian Yanez, 14-3, taking on dangerous Davey Grant, who is 13-5. And the last time we saw Davey Grant, it was a fight of the night performance against Marlon Vera. He did end up losing that contest, but it was a great fight. He definitely had his moments, and he picked up some decent wins before that too, right? He flatlined Jonathan the Dragon Martinez when you and I were pretty bullish on Jonathan Martinez at that time, and Davey Grant said enough was enough, and he managed to flatline him just like he did Martin Day, the last Airbender. But the last Airbender is a guy who does get slept often. But Yanez, though, is kind of on, seemingly a different level. I mean, this dude's 14-3, undefeated in the UFC. The last time we saw him, he was stopping Randy Costa in a fight that really showed his resilience and his toughness, right? Because that was a very difficult to endure first round, especially like the first 3-4 minutes of it, where Costa was, really teeing off on Yanez. And, Yanez mentioned, it took him a little while, probably a little bit too long to catch his rhythm in that fight. But when he did, it was just it was over, right? Because as soon as he caught that wind, Randy Costa folded, and he ended up getting that second round finish over him. And before that, he absolutely smashed Gustavo Lopez. We meat locked that one. We were all over it, and he had that nice win over the Alaskan Bullworm before that. So Yanez is no joke. Tapology's awfully bullish on him with 90%, and he's a pretty decent favorite at about -320 and climbing. So what are your thoughts on Yanez versus Grant? Do you like the odds at all, or is Dangerous Davy going to spoil another favorites come out party? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, honestly, I think this is another juicy tenderloin for the boys. Just the odds are significantly bigger than a Misha Tate fight, so we kind of went with the Misha one. We think both are locks. And I think Giannis is on a whole other level. Just showed that, I mean, that last fight, like you said, he was getting absolutely destroyed by the Zohan in the first round,
Mhm.
but he made the right adjustments and just really put the work in on him, and just overcame diversity and just shows that he's got the skills, he's got the heart, and he keeps with the goal and he makes the right adjustments if you do not get him out of that round. And I just don't see Davey Grant getting it done. I mean, he just lost to Marlon Vera, so no shame in that. Has a nice win over Jonathan Martinez. And I mean, the best fight that he won besides that was Marlon Vera in 2016. But Marlon Vera is on a whole level right now compared to what he was in 2016. Let's be real. And I think Davey Grant is almost like the first levels test in that division. Like he's good, but he's okay in the end. And I think Giannis is going to finish him first round KO or TKO for sure.
Yeah, and Giannis is the younger fighter, right? He is going to have a slight reach advantage despite being the shorter guy, but he's got that power. He's got that, intense boxing background, and he's a guy who hits hard and doesn't seem to have many cardio issues. And Dangerous Davy is a guy who's going to try to make it ugly. He's going to try and overwhelm Giannis, but if this thing plays out on the feet, which, Dangerous Davy's fights often do, I just think Giannis is going to be a step ahead of him wherever it goes, and especially when there. So I'm with you. I'm gonna be rolling with Adrian Yanez as well. Not quite sure if he'll get the finish. I think that Davy's gonna put up a fight, but if Yanez does get that finish, I imagine it being kind of late because Dangerous Davy's a guy who isn't easy to put out early. He's a guy with a lot of heart. And he's definitely going to bring the fight to Adrian Yanez. Just don't think he's going to have the fight skills necessary to get a win with it. So 90% is rolling with the Meat Boys. They're bullish on Yanez. They think that KO finish is most likely. 10% rolling with Dangerous Davy. And of the 10, it's 5-5, right? 5% think that Davy Grant will get that KO, but seems like a tall task against Houston's Yanez. So nonetheless, could be another absolute lock. We're both rolling with Yanez. So any last thoughts on this one? I'm super stoked for this contest.
Yeah, so I'm so stoked. This is gonna be fight of the night. This one and the Brady fight, in my opinion, are the two fights you don't want to miss this weekend. So there's still some good stuff. But yeah, I think Jan is so excited to see him in this division. He's looking so good. He's a very great prospect, and once again, I'm all aboard the hype train.